Dwight Chateau, do you think they can get up to 240 off those next 3 deliveries?
They are what right now? I expect them to.
You expect them to get up to 240?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Rinku and Strike. Is the left hand, I think, is Tilka Verma. Tilka Verma. There's a lot of promise for Tilka Verma. Ellis switched to over round the wicket, and that's a lovely delivery. So it's a full toss. The batsman cannot get under it. He strokes it down to the fielder on the cover boundary. So good delivery there from Ellis. A 1 run off a delivery at this stage. Australia would love that. So it's 129 for 4. So maybe they're just not going to get up to that 240 unless they hit 6s. Go ahead, gentlemen. Any one of you can go ahead.
I mean, it's still possible. It's still possible.
Highly unlikely.
Ellis just have to make sure he don't bowl a no ball.
Yes. And Rinku hit these 2 balls for 6. So we are dead. Oh, we are 1 minute. We are 1 minute behind time, but they bowl these overs very slowly. Oh, that was a wide one outside the half stump, and he guided it away down to third man. Full toss, Bobby. You saw that was a full toss. 233. 233. Oh, it will be very interesting if they can hit this next ball for 6, and that will be 239. And Australia would need what? 12 runs and over to win? Exactly 12 runs and over to win.
Yep.
Very, 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 very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So Colin Goodrich is given it's 139 now, Colin Goodrich. It's 139.
That been on the screen for a while.
Oh, that's been okay. Good morning, Atina. How are you? Good morning. Welcome to the show, Atina. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. As the final delivery of the innings. Ellis round the wicket, ball to Verman, he swings it away. He never timed it that well. It runs down to the man on the deep mid-wicket boundary. They come back for 235 for 4. Bobby, what are your thoughts? Can Australia win this? And Chateau, I will ask you your opinion on whether Australia can get this total. Bobby, let's go first with you, Bobby.
Australia definitely can get it, But I think it's gonna be tough, but they definitely can get it. It depends on the start that Steve Smith gets.
Okay. Thank you, Bobby.
I totally agree. It depends on the start that they have. They're down in the series, so you know that they're going to be going hard and trying to tie the series up. I think that they can get it, but it really depends a lot on the start that they'll get.
Thank you. Good, decent comments, those. And when these totals are made, I always said, you cannot win this match in the power play, but you can lose it in the power play. You can be 4 down at the end of the power play. But if you are 40 without loss at the end of the power play, you still have a chance. So you can lose it in the power play, but you cannot win it in the power play. Thank you, Bobby. I will see you, Bobby, in the next 15 minutes or so. Bobby, so you can go and have a cup of coffee now and something to drink. Because I think you're probably still drunk from last night. Dwight, welcome to the show, sir. So joining us at this moment is Dwight Chateau, who is convinced that Darren Bravo should not have been included in the West Indies team. Also joining us at this time, which is probably a surprise to him, is his nemesis. One of his nemesis is Andre Douglas. So we'll have Andre Douglas and Dwight Chateau at this moment. Dwight, Andre is one of our resident analysts here, and so he's the one who's going to be carrying you through this 10 to 15 minutes or so on the Darren Bravo issue. Andre, it's over to you, Andre.
Yes, thank you, Carlton. Yeah, morning to you, Dwight.
And hey, morning, Andre. How you doing?
Welcome to the Cricket Forum. Very, very well. Yes.
Why am I not surprised that you're on the show this morning?
Yeah.
You know my position, and I know your position on this Darren Bravo issue. By the way, did I see correctly that that he has resigned? He has retired from international cricket?
Yeah, I saw something that effect that he's taking a break. I'm not sure if he has is anything official that he has retired, but he said he's taking a break from from cricket at this point in time, you know. So I don't know what the final outcome will be if he will actually retire, you know. Well, you know, hopefully not, because I still believe that he does have something to contribute to West Indies cricket, you know, and I think that he could play he has a role to play. Unlike you, Dwight, because I know that you have a stance that that Desmond Haynes did the correct thing by not selecting Bravo. Explain your stance.
No, I don't want you to mix up what I'm saying. Yeah. My concerns with Bravo has to do with the ODI team. I do believe Bravo still has a role to play in West Indies cricket. I'd love it if he could get back into the test team. And he clearly has a role to play in terms of mentoring young cricketers as well. So there is a role for him for West Indies cricket. But with respect to the ODI team, I'm absolutely surprised why everyone is making up all this noise about Bravo being omitted from the team. He should have been omitted from the team based on all the signals that we're seeing from Cricket West Indies as to the direction that they'd like to go forward in building a team for the next World Cup. The fact is, Darren Bravo is 34 plus. By the time the next Cricket World Cup comes around, he will be almost 39 years old. All right? If you were to go by the statistics from this last World Cup, Darren Bravo has a 2% chance of playing in that World Cup. All right? He would turn up if he had played in this, if all the same people turned up at this World Cup in terms of age, turned up at the next World Cup, if you had the same age distribution, Darren Bravo would be the third oldest player in that World Cup. And if we are looking to build a team for that World Cup, to go deep into the tournament, not simply to qualify for the tournament, but to go deep into the tournament, it makes sense that we start to focus on a core of players, a group of players who will be able to make that team.
Okay. All right, fine, I hear. Morning to you. Big up to you, Damien Hilton. Welcome to the Cricket Forum. All right? Yeah, I heard what you said. Yeah, but with that said, remember that going to the Cricket World Cup is indeed a process. So we just don't go, it is actually over a 4-year process. You have to qualify. So I believe that in order for us to even qualify for the tournament, we must have our best available players for that process. And at this point in time, Darren Bravo is the best in terms of informed play in the region. Over the past 3 years, Bravo has done so well. He has done so well for Trinidad that I do believe that at the age of 34, he still can contribute. And the players that we have available, he should be involved. He should have been selected. And I tell you something, Desmond himself said that from what, you know, we have a very, the cupboard is pretty much bare, right? And at this point in time, the players that we have available in terms of experience, you have Pooran. Pooran has made himself unavailable for the series against England. So based on what we have available, Bravo should have been selected. Bravo should have been one of those persons to help to guide the youngsters, the younger players, the likes of the Afternays and the Carty. Yeah, because you need to have a mixture of experience and youth. That is very, very important. You want to build a culture of winning, you know. And at this point in time, I think that Bravo can play a role.
Well, Andre,
let me finish. So it is just quite puzzling as to Desmond Haynes. The same Desmond Haynes saying that we cannot discard anyone at this point in time. And I would assume that he meant that irrespective of the age, you cannot discard anybody. So Bravo should have been selected based on performance, and I think that performance should have been is a key criteria in the selection of a team. Yes, okay. Yes, Tatu.
Okay, let's dispel this notion that Bravo has been very good at ODI cricket. Let us kick that out of the door, because that is absolutely wrong. Darren Bravo has played ODI cricket for around 13 seasons. In those 13 seasons, he has averaged more than 34 only twice of those 13 calendar years. And I'm excluding the year that he was away from cricket. He has had a batting average that is greater than 34 only 2 times. And that happened in 2010, and that happened in 2013. The reality is, for most of Darren Bravo's ODI's career, he has averaged in the teens and in the 20s. And that's just a fact. All right? Let me read some stats from him. This is Darren Bravo's batting average over the last 5 years. From 2018, he averaged 19. In 2019, he averaged 23.5. 2020, he averaged 21. 2020, he averaged 21. 2021, he averaged 33.8. And 2022, he averaged 12.6. 12.6. That was his batting average in 2022. This thing that Bravo does is that each time in regional, and if you listen carefully to what Selector Haynes said, he said that Darren Bravo has performed well at this level. And that is what we have noticed. He has performed well in regionals. But each time he's given the opportunity to play ODI cricket, he wets the bed. He messes it up. People are saying, for example, that he's in the form of his life. That's a lie. He was in the form of his life in the 2019-2020 season. He averaged 96. He made 481 runs. The West Indies selector said, come Bravo, come and play some cricket for the West Indies. He went, played ODI, and then averaged 21 over the next 11 months. Darren Bravo should be given the Devon Smith treatment. You're saying something, Andre. You looked as if you were saying something. Andre, I'm not hearing you.
I'm not hearing Andre, Dwight. I'm not hearing you, but there's a comment on the screen, Dwight. If you can read it.
Darren Bravo has been given sporadic chances to represent West Indies. Well, I agree with you. He has set the world on fire in terms of ODI cricket. But you have to realize that, Bravo, after the hiatus that Bravo took from cricket, it took him a while to actually get back into the groove of things. So, and I think that now, Bravo is now back to his best. And based on the fact that he has performed consistently well in regional 50 overs cricket, he must be given a chance. And we are bereft of talent in the region. And you cannot say that. You cannot say that, oh, Bravo, we don't know, Bravo is not in the running for the World Cup in 4 years' time. We don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know.
Andre.
Let me finish. We don't know that. We don't know this sort of the fitness situation. We don't know the form Bravo will be in at that point in time. And we must take things in stages. At this point in time, Bravo being your best regional 50-over batsman, and the experience that he has, he must be given a chance. Another thing is this. Utley is 33, will be 34 in a few weeks.
Andre, just a minute. Andrew, let him just a minute. Like Dwight being our guest, let him go ahead.
I'm not hearing.
Are you hearing now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, yes.
Listen, Andre.
Let me just quickly finish that now. You're
sure.
Pick a 33-year-old athlete, right? Over an experienced Bravo who has been there, who has done that, right? I just think it is absolutely absurd. Yeah, but let me just let you be the guest. Let me hear from you some more.
Let me address the outlet thing because it was already addressed. The selector said they were out of folks to select. The reality was that Justin Greaves, who they had wanted, was injured. Myers opted to be unavailable, and they were basically a dearth of openers who they could have selected. They couldn't have selected Young Alain because they selected him to go and play for the West Indies Academy side. He would have been an excellent person. He had a good season, but they selected him to go and play for the young West Indies team that defeated emerging Ireland in that thing. So they were basically forced into a selection dilemma, and he explained that was what the selection of Utley is about. But they have been very clear that they would like to build a team, and in building a team, they want to look at folks who will be available to play in the next World Cup.
All right.
You mentioned this point.
We'll have to go very short because the innings has resumed. Australia started their innings, but we definitely will have you back. Because
Andre?
Yes.
No, man, let's continue the debate. We'll catch up with the innings even if we are 5 hours later. So I want, and please, there are some comments on the screen.
Oh,
because
yes.
there's a lot
from
Damon
Hilton.
You can read the comments and I'll answer.
Yes, Damon
persons are interested. There's the first one on the screen, Dwight Chateau. Are you seeing it?
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
All right. Andre, read it for Dwight Chateau because I don't want to interrupt you both. So, Andre, please.
Okay. Yeah. It says that coming from Damon Hilton, we don't necessarily know if Bravo will play in the World Cup, but couldn't he help us qualifying while we also blood young talent? Can't the two things be done simultaneously? That's Damon Hilton. A question from Damon Hilton. Thanks for your question, Damien.
Yeah, that's an excellent question, Damien. But the reality is this. Cricket is a unique sport. There are a certain amount of ODI cricket that is played per year. And the best way to blood players is to give them games. Cricket is not like football where you can substitute players in the middle of the game and they can get a feel of the game. You have to, if you select that 11, that's your 11 for the game. And what we risk in doing by carrying Bravo along is that the youngsters who would like to blood would not be able to do it. Let me show you something that has happened, because I've said that Darren Bravo has been given a host of opportunities since he has been back. He has played well in regional, and each time it has happened more than once, it has happened more than twice. He has played well in regional. He goes up to play ODI cricket and he underperforms. And that has been happening for a while. And the selectors took an interesting decision. They said, listen, I'm going to pick this young guy called Carthy. And I think in that particular season that they selected Carthy, Bravo had outperformed him, I believe. All right? And the selectors took a chance on Carthy. And as it is right now, Carthy has a higher batting average than Darren Bravo. The following year, the selectors decided that they would select young Athanaze. And they gave him a chance as well to play. And at the end of the day, Athanaze right now has a higher batting average than Darren Bravo. I believe we need to open it up to some others. All right? Darren Bravo has not been a stellar ODI cricket to begin with. He has gotten chances after chance after chance after chance, and he has not taken hold of it. We have a certain amount of time to prepare our youngsters, and we need to start having a good look at them and giving them a run for them to find their feet. I support Rutherford being selected.
From you, Howard, it says that Mr. Hilton, what are you saying makes no sense to me. We're dealing with the selection of Bravo to play against England. Why are you focusing on World Cup 2027? West Indies we still have to qualify for that.
All right, this notion about qualifying for World Cup 2027, in case everybody forgets, at the worst, let's say that the West Indies fails to get direct qualification. If we have a team, we will still have an opportunity to qualify and play in that World Cup in 2027. It's not like football, where you get eliminated and you won't get an opportunity to qualify for the tournament. In 2027, we will have the opportunity to qualify for the World Cup. And if we develop our cricket as well, we will not only qualify and get bumped out in the first round, but we should have a team that can go deep in the tournament. So everyone needs to make up their mind. Is it that you simply want us to qualify 7th, go to the World Cup, and get booted after in the first round? Or are we daring enough to believe and to look to our youngsters and to try to develop a good team where even if by chance, and I don't believe that will happen, but let's say by chance we miss the automatic qualification, we will still be able to enter the qualifiers, run through that, enter the main draw, and have an excellent tournament. And that is what the selectors are looking for. They are not looking simply to participate. They are looking to go deep in the tournament, and I am on board for that.
All right, I have to take some comments from the community right here. Another question for you, Shatu. How does Bravo compare to the West Indies players' averages in the last World Cup since you stack his age up?
The West Indies players in the last World Cup, I'm not sure. I'm gonna repeat again. Bravo average. Let's just see if we can get it here. Bravo's average has been 19, 23, 21. He made a 34, 33.8 and 12.6. I'm quite sure there are West Indian cricketers who averaged more than 12.6 in the last World Cup.
Yeah, but
I don't think there are many batsmen who average less than 12.6.
To be fair to Bravo, though, Bravo's overall average is 30, which is even better than those some playing right now. The lights. And next thing, big up to you, to Ricky Teng. Morning to you, Ricky Teng. Welcome to the Cricket Forum.
Hey, Ricky Teng, how you doing? You see, Andre, that's the mistake everyone is making. They keep telling us Bravo averages 30. And by the way, 30 is not a great average. 30 is not a great average for a batsman that you're looking to bat in the heart of your middle order. All right? In the heart of your batting, in your engine room. That's where Bravo should bat. And everyone is saying, let's put a batsman who averages only 30 there. Let's not look and see if we can find somebody else who can do better. All right? But Bravo has not been averaging 30. When he came back to West Indies cricket, I think his average was somewhere much higher than that. I think maybe 33 or something like that. And since that time, he has been so poor over the years that his average has been falling and falling and falling. So this notion that people have in their minds that Darren Bravo always averages 30, and when he goes out there, you... Go ahead.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. So, Damon Hilton again. Shatu is using 4 years of cricket to determine if Bravo should be in the squad. Is it regional cricket the basis for selection? Also, Haynes referenced the man age as a reason for non-selection. Yeah, so how do you, when Haynes referred to the reason for non-selection as being his age, do you think it's a fair comment? Do you think it's a fair criteria to use his age as a non-selection?
I'll listen carefully to what Haynes said. Haynes said the decision to leave Bravo was difficult. However, we have made some excellent investment. We have made a lot of investment in young Athenians and Carty, and we believe that we should continue with that. With that, the bottom line is in that middle order, you have Hope, Athenius, Carty, and Hetmeyer, who are selected as straight batsmen. Who do you want to drop out to facilitate Bravo? Do you want to give Carty the boot so that Bravo can get to play a game? Do you want to kick out Athenius? Is that the approach that we should take? I do not agree with that. By the way, this notion that I'm using 4 years is not. Mr. Hilton, Bravo has played cricket, ODI cricket, for 13 seasons. He has only averaged more than 34 runs in only 2 of those 13 seasons. Bravo has been an ordinary ODI cricketer for most of his ODI career. He has been very good at Test cricket. I mean, I'm a big Bravo fan in Test cricket. But where ODI cricket is concerned, it is no time for us to look to others.
Dwight, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
All right, I'm going to just play the 2 clips from the Haynes Bravo interview. Please listen to them, please.
Sure.
Yes, okay. Where are they now? Coming up. This is the first clip.
I think that it was a very tough decision for us to make as a panel. Darren has proven not only this year, but last year as well in the Super 50 tournament to be somebody who, performed well at this level. But we have invested in players like, Alex Antones and Casey Carty. And we just figure that, selecting this team, we also had to take into consideration that the World Cup 2027 is something that we've got in mind. And we believe that we have invested in these players, and we believe that we should give them the opportunity playing against a very strong England side. And that's the reason why Darren has been omitted.
This was a follow-up question, gentlemen. This was a follow-up question.
The omission of Darren Bravo with the sense that you're looking at 2027 World Cup. Well, implying that you're looking at 2027 World Cup and look at the players who could be at their peak at that stage. However, though, we have Keon Utley, who I just checked up, he's born the same year with Darren Bravo. So if you're looking at players who could progress and be better in 4 years' time, then I'm trying to understand the logic of not picking Darren Bravo, especially, I mean, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Darren Bravo, but he did impress in the Super 50. And if you're looking at the regional tournaments as stepping stones to making the West Indies team, you know, it's still confusing how come Keon Utley has been selected by not Darren Bravo.
Well,
Yeah, so I heard both of them, and it's exactly what I said. He said one of the considerations is that they had made substantial investment in Alec Athanaze and Casey Carty, and they believe they should continue with that with that investment. By the way, during the qualifiers, Carty was the second best batsman behind Paran. I think he averaged something like 50 something in the qualifiers where we failed to qualify for the World Cup. All right, so Carty has been given the opportunity to play ODI cricket. And in the short time that he has played, he has pushed himself to have a batting average that is now higher than Darren Bravo. I do not believe that player should be dropped so that Darren Bravo can have.
Put things in perspective, though, Chateau. How many games have Casey Carty played? So I'm not going to even use Carty because he has played pretty much a handful of games, right? But the next thing, though, even though Utley has been selected, even though it might be a stopgap measure, why not select Bravo? Tell Hope, we're gonna ask you to go and open for us, both you and King, and put Bravo in the middle because Bravo is playing pretty well. Bravo is in form, so why not Hope? And Hope, you know, you have to realize that the best position that for Hope is actually opening the innings. That is where Hope has been most successful. So now that you have a Bravo, why not Bravo in the middle? Bravo hit Meyer to guide the other two youngsters. So why not Hope and King to open the innings? Bravo at 4 with the youngsters still having a part to play. That's my thing. That's my point. I see absolutely no reason for
go ahead
to be selected over Bravo. It makes absolutely no good cricketing sense, none whatsoever. A journeyman being selected over someone who you know was actually done it before, who has been established at the international level. It is just absolutely ludicrous.
All right, but Andre, you have to recall that this is a team that they're selected. And normally when they select a team, they normally select 3 openers. It's highly unlikely, it's highly unusual just to see them go into a series of selecting only 2 openers. So I know you're trying hard to find a space for Bravo, but Bravo is not an opener. All right. So the issue relating to Utley, and you're saying, okay, let's throw out Utley and ask Hope to go back and open so that Bravo will get a spot in the middle. What about the third opener? We still need a third opener in the squad. I've heard people turning around and they're asking me questions about Chase. Chase is a bowling all-rounder who is 31. All right. I'm not hearing you.
No, I'm saying if God forsake something happens to one of the openers, you don't need a third opener because you can easily get an opener from somewhere in the region. Is that like you're going on a tour, If they're probably going on a tour.
No, Andre, that's not how it works.
You don't need a third opener.
No, Andre, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. The team, no, Andre, no. Let's respect the process. Let's respect the.
You have Hope and King. Use Hope and King as openers. Bravo could have played a better person than a selection of Dorich or Utley. It makes no sense. Those two, and even Dorich too. Dorich is at 32, and don't tell me anything about a backup wicketkeeper. We don't look at any backup wicketkeeper. Bravo,
but one thing at a time.
Selection of Utley, a better
allow
choice
me.
than the selection of Dorich.
Yeah, but allow me. One thing at a time, Andre. You have to respect the process. It's a team against one of the best ODI teams in the world in England. They are right now in camp training, and they're preparing themselves. It is ridiculous to think that what you're going to do in case you have an injury is that you're going to pick up somebody right off the road and say, come and play for the West Indies with short staff. I mean, if that happened, we all would be laughing at them and asking them if they're idiots. All right. So the idea that you're gonna go in with two openers, and if you lose an opener, you're then gonna call somebody into the side. So, these ODI matches are held pretty close to each other. That just isn't fair to the process and fair to the team in terms of the preparation required.
In the region, and a lot of these guys have just completed the regional tournament, so it's nothing. I mean, it's nothing strange to see that you probably pick a person from, say, from Trinidad or from Ghana to come and play.
Andre, let us agree to disagree. I don't agree with the idea that we're gonna go in short in terms of the play, in terms of the players. And if we pick up an injury, we're gonna call somebody into the squad. I don't agree with that. That doesn't make any sense. Listen, Bravo. Unfortunately, I like Bravo, but he's
1 minute, Dwight. I want you to react to Gunner's boss. You see in the comment, or you need me to read it?
No, just read it through. Just read it through anytime.
Preach, preacher. So he's referring to you as a preacher. Dwight, here regurgitating conversation from a presser conference of me thinking it was his original point. Dude, it's not a man of his own thoughts. So Gunner boss is saying you're preaching, but you're not a man of your own thoughts.
Well, I think I'm a man of my own thoughts because my sentiments is not generally shared by a couple other people. I have done my research in terms of the age of players going to the World Cup, and I'm telling you that Bravo has a 2% chance of ending up there. I've looked at Bravo's record in terms of his performance. I've looked at the fact that Bravo has been given several chances before. That's not something that anybody has noticed. Everybody, they're out there saying Bravo has performed very well. He has performed very well in list A cricket. And when given the opportunity to play ODI cricket, he has underperformed. Andre, do you remember Devon Smith?
But
Devon Smith continued to make runs. Devon Smith continued to make runs and was one of our best openers in regional cricket for about 2 or 3 seasons after he was dropped.
It's quite unfair to compare Devon Smith with the like of Darren Bravo.
No, but why didn't you guys ask for Devon Smith to be returned to the team?
Abject failure at the international level for West Indies. An abject failure, Devon Smith. Unfair to compare Devon Smith with Darren Bravo.
No. I have already given the numbers on Bravo. I have said that he has played for 13 seasons, 13 years, and he has only played well for 2 of those 13 years. I've said that. All right? Now, why was no one, why when the selectors decided to turn their back on Devon Smith, why is it that everyone understood that, even though Devon Smith continued to make runs in regional cricket? Nobody was saying Devon Smith is one of the best openers. Let's give him another chance.
You know why? Because
Devon
Smith, as I said to you, Devon Smith has been an abject failure at the international level for West Indies. Abject failure. Totally failed. That's not the case with Darren Bravo. That is not the case with Bravo. Why Bravo was probably not the most successful of ODI batters, he did pretty fairly well enough to make.
No. Stop, Andre. Stop. Stop. The last few years of mediocre cricket is playing tricks on your mind. The last few years of mediocre cricket from the West Indies playing tricks on your mind. You are elevating the level at which Bravo played ODI cricket. Do not come here and tell me that a player who has averaged 19, 23, 21, 30, 33.8 and 12.6 has been good.
No. But Bravo's overall average is 30. I'm not going to take
No. And he got that overall average by averaging 44 in 2010 and averaging 37 in 2013. That's why his overall average is 13. It's 13.
We cannot ignore the persons in the community, gentlemen.
Sorry. No, man, just read it, Carlton. Read the question, Carlton. Okay, you have to understand enough. When me and Andre go at it, we go at it hard enough.
Okay, all right. This is saying, why do we have specialized position for batsmen? Once you're a batsman, you're a batsman. Well, how do you react to that? Once the batsman,
Andre, you take that one.
Yeah? No, man, you have to have. I mean, there's specialist position for batsmen, especially when it comes down to openers. You have to have specialist position, of course. But what I'm saying,
This one is for you, Chatu. This one is for you, Chatu.
Yeah, let me just finish answering that. Yeah,
Okay.
you have specialist openers, specialist position, of course, and in particular the openers. You must have like specialist openers, but you also have persons who could actually do a job as opener who are not specialists. And in this case, I'm not advocating for Bravo to go and open the innings because there is hope and there is king. So those two can open the innings, and Bravo can bat in the middle as an experienced international batter, as an experienced international 50 over ODI cricketer. He could do a job. And based on his form, I see no reason why Bravo could not be fitted into this team at this point in time.
Do you know who the selectors have selected to be that experienced test batsman that could bring some maturity and bring some leadership to the team? Do you know who that selection is in this team?
Tell us.
Tell us, yes.
Dorich. That's who they have selected.
Okay.
They have selected Dorich because of his test experience, because of the leadership he showed in leading the combined campuses, who really got a raw deal and should have gone through to the semifinals. The combined campuses.
You're going to select Dorich, who has limited experience at the even in List A cricket. Dorich has limited experience and is quite an average batsman with who averages 22 with one List A century.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But here's the thing, Andre.
And Dwight, I'm going to put 3 questions together. The first one is on the screen, and I'm going to read the other 2. This one is from Merrick Murdick, and then Jamaica has 2 questions there. So this one is say, what's your reaction to this suggestion from Merrick Murdick? I strongly believe that Desmond Haynes' decision-making isn't independent. And Jamaica is saying, Atenays can open too. I don't hear any of you guys talking about that. And he continues by saying the opening argument is irrelevant. 3 things there. And then I'll go back to Gunner's boss.
Okay. The independent thing, I'll say this. I believe that there has been some level of consultation within the West Indies Cricket Board. As you all remember, there was, coming out of the failure to make the last 2020 World Cup, there was a report that was done by Patrick Thompson. And that report recommended that they should select a core of players who are likely to play in the next tournament as they're preparing their teams. That was the recommendation that was done for that particular, coming out of that report. And I have the feeling that they have huddled around that report and they're looking to take cues from some of the recommendations. Also, the new director of cricket, Miles Biscombe, he's on the record in saying he is putting all his eggs in this basket of what will happen at the 2027 World Cup. And he says we have 4 years and we're going all in for that 4 years. So I believe that between the report that was done and the direction, the strategic direction that the director of cricket wants to go, I think they have huddled with Desmond Haynes, Desi Haynes, and I think it's possible that Desi Haynes might have looked at what they're saying, and that has played a part in his selection. Andre.
All right, look at this now, Shatu.
Just a minute,
All
Andre. Right. And Andre, I'm going to give you your final comment. So let this be your final comment, and then we go back to Shatu for his final comment. And I do not know if Bobby wants to ask Shatu a question. So Bobby is in the studio. I don't know if he wants to ask Shatu. So your final comment, because we need to go to the match now. We are coming towards the end of the power play. Australia 47 for 2. So your final comment, Andre, then Shatu, then if Bobby will have a question.
Yeah, I just want to say at this point in time, we do not have the talent, the depth of talent in the West Indies to be saying someone at 34 is irrelevant or cannot actually make a contribution at this point in time to West Indies cricket and particularly to the ODI team that we're referring to right here, right? So I do believe that the selection of, or the non-selection of Bravo was a big mistake, you know, and I do believe that Desmond is far too inconsistent, and what he did was absolutely nonsense.
I believe if we ever get to the place of saying a player who has averaged 23.4 over the last 5 years, not selecting that player is a big, big mistake. Something is desperately wrong with our cricket, and our best chance is that we'll just be looking at qualifying ninth for the next World Cup. Because if we're depending on a batsman who has averaged 23 over the last 5 years, I mean, then we're in big trouble. But I don't agree with you. I don't share Andre's opinion. I believe that at this moment in time, we are seeing a bunch of youngsters coming through. We're seeing the likes of Nando and Alain and Teddy Bishop. We're seeing young Kirk McKenzie. We have heard about the promise of Jordan. We have seen these guys get up, go to South Africa, and done something what none of the big sides have done. They have beaten South Africa in South Africa. I think instead of focusing and continuing to put resources and time and effort into a Bravo that has not rewarded the selectors with the patience and the time that they have given him over the years, that it is time to move on. The selector tried it with Carty, and we have a young man now who is promising. He has a batting average that is better than Bravo. They tried it with Athanaze, and again the selectors were rewarded with somebody who's showing promise. I think that is the direction to go. I think the direction forward is by investing in our youth while having experienced players like Hope and Hetmeyer and Poran around there to guide them. And that is what I believe the strategic decision should be. So I totally support designees.
Bobby, do you have a question for Dwight?
Dwight, you know, me have a lot of questions for Dwight, but I'm going to ask him just a couple. So Dwight, yeah, the first one.
Andre,
first thing we think.
Just a minute, Bobby. Andre, you can join us at the end of about the 11th over, right? So you can have a break and go and have your coffee. What you said, I didn't get that.
No, I'm just saying, okay, you know, Dwight, enjoy the rest of the show, you know. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, man, Andre, it was fun. It was really good.
All right.
Go ahead, Bobby.
The first thing one, they have a word called transparency. You know, and if the selector, whatever the selectors are saying, we should not try to figure out. Them should tell us what the problem is. And one of the big problem why, you know, me and other people have is, you know, they're not being transparent. If you feel like Bravo is not good and he's never going to be a world beater, tell him. Or me, I would say, give Bravo these 3 games and said, Bravo, this is your career. Show us what we got, because you did score the most runs. And, you know, the thing that I worry about is message. What is the message you're sending to the other youngster? Because we have to remember, Hayden Walsh never get picked also. So it's the message that you're sending, because, you know, this guy scored the most runs. And yes, we know Greaves was going to be there, but then you go and you pick Otley, who is the same age, and Haynes said, you know, it's because of age. So that's why we have to go with the Otley argument.
No, man, I think we're looking at 3 different situations, from Haynes to Walsh to Bravo. With Hayden Walsh, you have to remember that they already have Carrier and they have who's the other bowler? They have Motley, who are already in the side. Carrier is a leg spin bowler. Motley is a left-hand orthodox bowler. They're both moving the ball away from the batsman. So why would you then go in and select Hayden Walsh? He acknowledged that Hayden Walsh was a difficult selection to leave out. All right? And he actually said that he would have Hayden Walsh train with the team. But I could understand a selector who has decided to go for an off spinner who didn't perform that badly as well, because I think I believe Chase got 16 wickets.
The right things.
Yeah, if I can answer that personally, yes. I mean, last season I was the first to go to Hayden when he lost his confidence, and I suggested, you know, get a camera, get someone to look at you when you're bowling and so forth, because I thought at the time that he wasn't bowling well and he just needed some sort of assistance from outside, you know, just to have a look at him. This year, I can tell you that I'm very impressed with how the ball was coming out of Hayden hand in this competition. And we even made a suggestion to the West Indies Cricket Board to have Hayden in the 16 practicing with us. I think he's going to be in Antigua for the camp. So we were very impressed with Hayden. And then, as you know, Hayden also, well, he used to be a two-dimensional player. Now he played very well, batted very well for the Leeward Islands, came in at some crucial times and give the Leeward Islands a really good partnership and get them off to a good start and get them off to some good runs. And we are very impressed with his batting as well. So yes, I say that Hayden was very close to selection, and I'm happy that he's got back his form. He's bowling well, and he's always going to be in our plans.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be having Hayden train with the team, and he acknowledged that the Hayden selection was very, very difficult. But I can definitely understand when you look at the bowling composition, it would look a bit of an overkill to have 3 bowlers in your squad and all of them do the same thing by moving the ball away. With the Utley thing, I already mentioned the Utley thing. This was a poor selection. He acknowledged that this was a poor selection, and I don't think he's such a slave to the decision that you have to be a certain age. Where if a selection is forced upon you, then he will still be dogmatic and he will still stick to his policy of not entertaining anyone who is older. The problem with Bravo is that Bravo is batting in the middle and he has intense competition for space there. We're talking about Hope, Athenius, Carty, Hetmeyer. And he's lucky that Puran didn't make what was unavailable for this team, because Puran would be somebody else who would be competing for a spot in that middle. So I think there are 3 different situations. The thing with Bravo is very tough about it, because you would want a player like that to still be involved in regional cricket. I think I'd like to see Bravo make a push to get back into the test team. You want to make a strategic decision, but you don't want to say something that will discourage the player and cause the player to say, listen, I'm not going to play cricket anymore, which he has done, which it appears that he might do. So it would have been unwise for Haynes to come out and say, I believe Bravo is finished. I believe there's no upside to him. I don't believe that he can get better. That would be stupid of him to say that. I think he has taken the diplomatic approach by just saying, listen, we're making a strategic decision because in this format, we want to have a team of players who will be available for the next World Cup.
But even if Haynes don't come out and say it, shouldn't you think, him be transparent with Bravo and tell Bravo, say, listen, just like how them can give Hetmeyer. Hetmeyer have been poor, very, very poor. And then, I understand that Hetmeyer is younger and he's looked promising, but Hetmeyer looks like he's off. He's just off. He's not. I don't think Hetmeyer is going to play first-class cricket for now, so I don't think Hetmeyer's form is going to improve. And just like how them can go with Hetmeyer, do the same thing with Bravo. Just a little bit of transparency. Tell Bravo, say, listen, this is the reason why, for me, give him these 3 games and said, listen, this is your chance. You cannot say we never give you a chance, because after all, indeed, you did score the most runs.
No, I agree with you that they need to sit with Bravo. I think a lot of things were pointed out in some shortcomings in how they handled certain things. I think Carlton was right. Was it on this telecast or one before where you mentioned how shabby the communication was with Rodman Powell, how shabby the communication was, I think, with someone else. And they need to sit with Bravo and have a long discussion with him and tell him exactly where they see him playing and what sort of future they see him having. I think he deserves that, most definitely. I don't think you need to tell a player, listen, we're going to give you one more chance. I mean, I've never heard that done. And I want to tell you that Hetmeyer is very close to the line. Hetmeyer was just brought in case we forgot, Hetmeyer was out of the team for a long time, and he just came back for the England series. If they had dropped him now, everyone in Guyana would be saying, man, they're wicked. They should give Hetmeyer a longer run. But if Hetmeyer continues to fool himself, he can find that he might be on the other side of the team. All right? So I think players should take heed that when they're given opportunities to play international cricket, it's not enough just to just think that you're going to just play a good season of first-class cricket or regional cricket. And when you get your opportunities at the highest level, then they're gonna be foolish there. And then all you just think is that, oh, I'll just go back and just have another good season and then I'll be back in the team. I don't think that's how it works. All right? Especially when you have competition for places, especially when you have players who are showing promise. You know? So I definitely agree that they need to sit with Bravo and talk to him. But I don't think this idea of telling players that this is your last series, this is your last chance. I don't believe you should put that sort of pressure on a batsman going into a series. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
One more for you, Shatu. Sorry about that, Bobby. Bobby, I'll bring back Shatu another time. I hope you are prepared to come back another time, Shatu, because
anytime. I'm always flexible. Go ahead, read the question.
This is the final one, and it's Damian Littleton again, your good friend. And I'm going to read Calvin Sanders' question too, two of them together. Chatu, I have listened to you articulate your selection process, but Desmond Haynes used none of your criteria. He used Bravo's age. Is Bravo age a good enough reason for non-selection? And Calvin Sanders is saying, you got that question, right?
Yes.
Right, Chatu?
Yes.
And Calvin Sanders is saying, remember Clayton Lambert made his test debut at the age of 36 and played very well.
And I agree with Clayton. I have said before, I believe that Bravo has an opportunity to contribute in test cricket. I definitely believe that. Where you finish in the test ranking table does something. All right? If you finish 6th or if you finish 5th, whether you finish 3rd or 7th in the ODI table, that really is nothing big. And if you can't make it, if you have a good enough team, you will have an opportunity to qualify again. So I don't think they're the same thing. Preacher, I've said before, one, Desi Haynes said when he spoke about this matter the first time that he is looking to continue with the investment he has given to Carthy and Athene. That was what Desmond Haynes said. Now, everyone has gone up and said, what Desmond Haynes said is that thing there's too old. The first point he made, which suggests to me that the option was either to select Bravo and to drop one of these two young men, or to continue with the investment that he has had in these two young men. And I believe we need to continue with the investment in these two young men. That's number one. Number two, I do not believe that Desmond Haynes, I believe Desmond Haynes is trying to be diplomatic regarding certain things. And I think I said that to you, Bobby. I think they have recognized and they are aware of his ODI numbers. If you listen keenly to what he said Bravo continues to play well at this level. He was very clear in saying it, and it's obvious that they recognize that he makes runs at this level. But in the past, they have asked him to play at the ODI level, and he has failed to make runs. So I want to give the selector a bit of leeway and not say that he had to come out and to say, listen, I believe that Dwayne Bravo is washed up. I think he's done and he has just performed poorly and we're moving on. I think he has been more delicate in terms of how he has said it, in just saying, listen, we are looking to focus on players for the next World Cup and we don't believe that he'll be at the next World Cup. We don't believe he's in our plans. But I definitely think that there's still a future for Bravo in West Indies cricket. So I don't agree with you, Preacher.